How you doing? This is Dr. Todd Pluchok with the League Sports Rehab. I got Mike here.
How's it going?
He's with Versatile Fitness. He's gonna go over balance and look at where your body goes for support, whether it's pronation or supination. That can lead to musculoskeletal injuries and overuse. So the first thing we're gonna do is have Mike stand on one leg, doesn't matter which side, and we're gonna look at what his foot's doing. I'm gonna have Mike close his eyes, and that's gonna let us know whether he goes to supination or pronation, and he's going to supination. All right, nice. And then let's have you switch the other leg up. And we can see he's also going to do supination out here. So on both feet, he's coming to the outside for balance, and you can see that pulling up. So what we're gonna do is see which muscles are overworked versus underworked. So when we tend to go towards a balance, for him, he was supination, so the foot comes in. We'll tend to have muscles that become overworked, and that can play a role up the leg. So what we'll do is do a simple muscle test, and we're gonna see what muscles are overworked, which are underworked. So the best way we're gonna do it is gonna have him bring his leg up, push here, and I want you to push up. And that's nice and steady, push up into my hand, good. And if I rotate in, which is gonna be acting like pronation, and I push up, good. And then we're gonna turn out and push up, and that's a big difference.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so when he comes out, push up, nice and solid towards me, that breaks down.
Totally.
So it puts his body in a unstable, unsafe feeling, and so neurologically, it's like a flinch, it just releases. So we want to find out who's overworked, who's underworked, and I'm going to have him put his hand right here. Good, and that's going to be the vastus medialis, and go ahead and raise this up and push up. Good, and drop that down. And we're going to go around and just kind of feel, is that tender in there?
Yes.
So we're going to feel that posterior tibialis muscle, which anchors in behind the tibia and rotates here. And so if he's coming into here, this becomes a shortened overused muscle. So it's going to dump everything into here, and this becomes where all his balance is being done. So somebody who does any type of lateral movements, boot camp that type of thing, jumping, lunging, if we're supinating in different positions, this become an overused area. So if we push in here and do a little myofascial release and recheck, and let's have you hold and push up, and that's nice and solid. Take the hand away and push up, and that's nice and solid. So what we're gonna have him do now is some self-treatment. Have pain on the inside of our shin, which is common amongst runners, people in boot camps, a lot of impact sports. You'll see people have sensitivity on the inside of this tibia bone. If we have spots that hurt, then we want to treat the spot. If it's a region, then we want to treat the region. To treat the spot, we're going to take this foot, we're going to dorsiflex, and we're going to go right within that bone. So you can kind of see that bone right there. Pin it there. This foot is going to be aimed down. As it's pinned, we're going to aim it up. And we're going to hold that for about 3 to 5 seconds. Sometimes up to 30 seconds. What I tell people is to hold it until you feel pain and it just turns into pressure. And then we'll bring the foot down again. Foot up. Find the next spot. Push. And bring the foot up and hold. That's how we would treat each spot. Now if we have a region, then we would aim the foot down and then slide our heel down inside that bone. Right there. We never want to go past what's called the medial malleolus. Think about where you have a crew sock. We have a bunch of vascular and neurological structures come out here, so it's not going to do us a whole lot of benefit to push our heel. So we stop right about where a crew sock would go. The second way I'll show you is with the lacrosse ball, and that's to get the deeper portion behind the fibula. The first video we showed the distal portion of the posterior tibialis muscle, which comes through here, then turns tendinous into the foot. What we want to do is get the proximal, which is the one closer to the body, and that actually lies below the gastrocnemius and soleus. So there's a lot of meat above that muscle. It's very deep to get to. So we can't really get to it with a foam roller or a stick. So we want to use a block or a book to get some elevation. We'll take a ball. You can also use a lacrosse ball as well. And what we're going to do is just put that right in the center of the calf and then aim the foot down. As that foot aims down, we're going to push into the ball to pin it, and then we're going to bring the foot up and out. And you should feel that ball start to sink in there. When you push into it, very gently push in like you're melting through a stick of butter, and that's how we get to that muscle. So you don't want to just be aggressive with it. Speed hides need. We want to go nice and slow. Soft tissue likes slow. So one of the first things you saw when we did a single leg stance is his foot was rotating out, and we want to retrain that. So not just to release tight muscles, but to strengthen them. Sometimes they're tight because they're overworked. So we want to strengthen that. So he's going to take that ball, put it between his ankles, closer to the Achilles, and you make sure your feet are aiming straight, big toes stay on the ground, and I want you to go ahead and raise up and hold that there. Good. And go nice and slow and down. Good. And you can see very challenging is making his feet do the work. I want to make sure these guys stay on the ground, so I could even take a business card and try to pull as he's doing that. And that's really going to help him from supinating out for balance. So it's going to strengthen that, which will increase his lower extremities and hips and back to absorb proper impact.